So actually, the Conservative Party doesn't seem to quite know what it wants to do about Europe anymore.
No, I don't think that's true at all. I think that the Conservative Party is the party that delivered Brexit. It's the party that started to make the most of many of our freedoms, but there's a long, long way to go. It's a project of multiple periods in government, and we were derailed by COVID. There are lots of opportunities, and the one thing I'm very, very clear about is that, compared with all of this taking us back to the past, talking about Brexit, which was just the start of a process, the big opportunity right now, where the Prime Minister should be re-diverting his plane tomorrow, lies in Washington with the US, our single largest trading partner.
OK, look, the big news of this week was the ONS population projections. We'll have a rise of 5 million people in this country over the next 7 years, all through immigration, which actually Brexit was supposed to bring down. Net immigration quadrupled since during the period when you were a person of great influence. You were Prime Minister's Chief Business Advisor, Director of the Prime Minister's Policy Unit, you were a Trade Minister, a Treasury Minister, a Minister for Science. And during the period you were in office, we quadrupled net migration. And the numbers are still rising. What was the point?
Well, we've been very clear. The Conservative Party is under new management. Immigration was too high. There were many failings in that immigration system in that period of time. The data itself, if you go back further, during the period of freedom,
I want to go back to where
I bet you don't. But during the period of freedom, during the period of freedom of movement, the ONS, the Home Office, estimated that 3 million people came here.
And you promised that
there's a real problem with the data, Trevor.
Well, the real problem with the data.
Well,
the ONS data year after year.
The level of running immigration, even before that period, was much higher than official statistics were capturing. Come on. And I can tell you from memory, 2019 numbers were 206,000 net. By last year, there were 900,000. Yeah, and we said that's completely wrong.
Your watch.
And we said that's wrong. That there should be
your policy.
There should be, well, with respect, there should be a cap on immigration, and that the system failed. The system of constant legal challenge, the failure of the Home Office to implement policies from a directly...
For the Conservative Party, the European Union is to blame. He appeared on the Trevor Philips Show and took aim at Labour for not aligning with Donald Trump, accusing the government of engaging in student politics. Student politics is probably more bearable at this point. He also laid out his party's demands for improving relations with the European Union. Griffiths addressed concerns about Brexit and its aftermath. He claimed the UK's economy needs support and that one of the key opportunities right now is to strengthen ties with the US, our biggest trading partner. Griffith argued that the UK already has a trade deal with the EU, so focusing on a trade deal with the US would be beneficial. He did warn against a trade deal with the US on these accounts, though, citing the risk of the NHS being put on the table and concerns about the import of hormone-treated beef and chlorinated chicken. He also mentioned that trade deals with Australia and New Zealand had been damaging to UK farming. Griffith also said that whilst it's always good to talk to the EU, right now the priority should be building a strong relationship with the US, which doesn't seem particularly interested in fostering good relationships with its neighbours, given its ongoing trade disputes in Canada and Mexico. Griffith questioned whether Donald Trump genuinely wants to have a good relationship with the UK. Whilst Griffith acknowledged the need to engage with Trump, he pointed out the UK's primary trading partner is still the EU, and the biggest trading bloc remains the EU. He mentioned that there are non-tariff barriers with the EU that are causing issues for small business owners trying to export, and he highlighted that reducing these trade barriers could improve the situation. He also mentioned the importance of having a clear set of red lines when it comes to trade with the EU, including no return to freedom of movement, no additional financial contributions, and no rule-taking from the European Court of Justice, the ECJ. He stated that the relationship with the EU, the UK needs to strike a balance between benefiting from a close trading relationship with the EU whilst safeguarding its own interests. The discussion also touched on how the UK needs to stand up to both the EU and Donald Trump, rather than simply appeasing them and pandering to them. Griffith emphasised the need for the UK government to make strategic decisions, but expressed concern that the government was not doing enough to take full advantage of Brexit. He reiterated that the UK needs to work on reducing restrictions with the EU whilst ensuring that its interests are protected. But let me know what you think in the comments. I've been Jake from Just Jake. As always, subscribe to the channel. If you want to buy me a coffee, feel free. And follow the Facebook page. Thank you for watching. You actually made it to the end of the video. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, which, why haven't you already, is somewhere over there. And also, if you want to watch more videos, also check out over there. I've been Jake from Just Jake. See you later.